Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, what I do is every day of 2024, I vow to check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my initial thoughts on the songs, rank the songs, and then of course give you my overall thoughts on the artist. You guys have been so kind, giving me tons of suggestions of bands or artists I should be checking out, and today's artist is one of those. It's Cavetown. Now, a couple people have suggested Cavetown to me, so it kind of ran up to the top of my list as a result of that. So please keep requesting bands or artists you want me to check out. If it gets enough requests, it goes to the top of the pile. Even if it doesn't get a lot of requests and it's just a band that I think sounds interesting or is cool, it gets done eventually. So what did I know about Cavetown going into this? Nothing really. I had heard the name before. I didn't realize it was just an artist at that time. But before going into it, I kind of realized, okay, it's an artist. It's a indie alternative pop kind of situation going on. And I was intrigued, to say the least. I don't go far down the indie rabbit hole, but this seemed to be in the vibe of the indie that I like. That's more pop and alternative leaning, instead of the kind of folk side of things, which I like some of, but for the most part, I think it all sounds very similar. So it gets boring for me. But without any further ado, let's actually dive into Cavetown. So the first song I checked out was off their debut release, which was self-titled Cavetown, and I checked out the song Devil Town, which is one of their most popular songs.
At least that's what they say.
Alright, so this is right in my wheelhouse. It's like an indie pop kind of feel to it, but with a little smidge of post-punk thrown in there. It's a solo artist, and he apparently wrote this song when he was super young. So given that, lyrically, this is super impressive. The song lyrically on its own is good enough, but the fact that he was so young at the time makes it that much more impressive. And you know what? Vocally, super impressive as well. Near the end of the song, we get some claps and some finger snaps to add to the musicality that we're hearing. It was a super fun addition, and when it happened, I just had a big stupid smile on my face. Alright, next up, I checked out Lemon Boy from the album Lemon Boy. Alright, so there was some more electronics added into this one, and honestly, it was like the perfect accompaniment to the breezy kind of guitar and vocals. Lyrically, it's very strong. It's got a good message in it, or at least that's how I read it, about being able to accept the more bitter parts of yourself. So, important message. There was a pretty long outro to the song, but the music changes a little bit during the outro, so I'm not going to push up against it too hard, because it at least gave me something interesting to listen to. Alright, we're going to bounce over to the Animal Kingdom mixtape, and I checked out the song Juliet.
Like I know, but I'm really just a kid.
Alright, this is probably the softest song I heard. Lemon Boy wasn't super upbeat or anything, but Juliet definitely takes the cake in that regard. We get another good message lyrically in the song, so Cavetown, super strong lyrics overall. The lyrics here are about continuing to grow as a person. Musically, there's more musical breaks that I would like to hear, especially given since the song is pretty basic as far as compared to the other two. But they were well done enough that, again, not gonna push too hard back on it. Alright, and finally, I listened to the most recent single from Cavetown called Let Them Know They're On Your Mind.
Hey, I've got nothing to say, but I'm lonely.
Alright, so I really dig the music on this track a whole lot. Vocally, I wish they were a little higher in the mix. They're kind of a little bit muted for maybe the first half of the song, maybe a little less. But then once it picks up at about the second chorus, then this is basically a perfect song from that point on. There was also this really cool thing where Cavetown made each chorus the same lyrically, but musically it sounded different. So that was super cool. All right, so those are the 4 Cavetown songs I checked out. Let's rank them. At number 1, to no surprise, because I basically just said from a certain point it's a perfect song, it's Let Them Know They're on Your Mind. Like, my only complaint was that the vocals were a little low for the first half of the song. And then it's perfect from that point on, because the vocals go higher in the mix. At number 2, I'm going Cavetown. I really like the post-punk flair that they added into the musicality of it all. And honestly, it was just a real fun time I had listening to it. At 3, I'm going Lemon Boy. It was still a really strong song. Love the musicality of it all, with the electronics adding to the guitar and the vocals to make this cool little breezy track. But the long outro does hold it back a little bit. And at 4, Juliet. This was definitely the song I liked the least. Maybe because it didn't do as many interesting things as the other 3 songs. Maybe it was just the sheer amount of musical breaks we got. I don't really know. All right, so my overall thoughts on Cavetown are super strong lyrically, vocally, musically, does tons of interesting things. You never really know what you're going to get from this project, and honestly, that's kind of what I dig about it. Like I said, Juliet was kind of the most basic song, and it ended up at the back of my list. So please, I need you guys to let me know your thoughts on Cavetown in the comments below. Give me some song suggestions of ones I missed out on that you think I really enjoy based on what I've said here today. Or just give me band suggestions like I've mentioned a billion times, or artists that I need to check out on one of these. So please keep those coming. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me the whole length of this video. I could not get all these videos done without your cool suggestions, so please keep them coming. I hope you go back and visit some of the back videos I did. I'd much appreciate it. But the thing I would appreciate the most, honestly, is if you simply cut my wrists and hit subscribe. I'm your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad signing off, but until next time, I want to hear you sad.